Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR Heat 5 career mode here on the channel. I hope you're all having a great day, fresh off of the ups and downs of Richmond Raceway. We kicked off the Busch Light Bracket Challenge as well, where we saw a few upsets of Hamlin and Elliott out in the first round, but we move on. We'll take a look at the new bracket into this episode, but there was big news this weekend. Ryan Preece saying he's out from Stewart-Haas Racing and is headed to Rick Ware Racing next season to pilot the number 15 machine. You notice the Ford Dark Horse right there, just casually thrown in there, so check that out. But Ryan Preece is leaving Stewart-Haas Racing to go to the number 15. Even if he's in the top 2 in the standings for Stewart-Haas, he's still going to make that move. A bit of a bombshell there, as that's going to throw a bit of a curveball at Stewart-Haas Racing. To practice now here in Michigan, we actually ran into a really interesting issue where my car got stuck in the 145 mile per hour or so range, and it would not go faster. And yeah, I was stuck in it. Something's wrong. I can't get up to speed.
Bring it to the garage. We'll try to sort it out.
We bring it to the garage, and yeah, I mean, we didn't even get a full lap of practice in, so we would try to get it sorted, and we would go into qualifying and hope that it's fixed here now on Saturday. And let's find out. There's only one way to find out. That's hitting the gas pedal now. So full throttle, get it up through the gears, and I would go up into fourth, and I immediately notice again the same exact issue.
I don't know what to tell you, man. Bring it to us again.
So that's going to be it for qualifying. I didn't know what the issue was, and so yeah, we will start dead last here in Michigan. I would figure out the issue at the end. Logano, by the way, in P10. On pole, it's Chastain, front row, Gibbs, Kozlowski, Kyle Busch, and William Byron in the top 5. But the issue, I don't know exactly what it was, but I fixed it by simply backing out of the race and coming back, so it was weird. Truck Series, Shane Van Gisbergen won in Pocono. That's his second Truck Series win of the season, and it would be a pretty good weekend because he would also pick up a victory in the Xfinity Series. But you see, the playoff grid is officially set for trucks, which already start. But SVG wins at the Indianapolis Road Course in the Xfinity Series, so now he has won in all 3 series officially, as he is expected to go full-time Cup Series racing next season. Let's get ready to roll in Michigan.
Round 2 of the Busch Light Bracket Challenge kicks off today in Michigan. We saw shock eliminations last week, with both Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin being eliminated. This surely destroyed many brackets. Who could we see shockingly out today, guys?
I'd say a Larson or maybe a Christopher Bellrick. Very steep competition for those 2 drivers.
I think winning the bracket challenge may take a win also, which we have yet to see Larson do this year. It will be tough for him.
And watch out for guys who don't care about the bracket anymore. Kyle Busch is fast and wants a playoff spot today, guys.
All right, boys. Hopefully the car goes above 145 mile an hour today.
It will. We've got it fixed.
Well, we got it fixed. Hopefully not famous last words as we're ready to roll here from the Firekeepers Casino 400. The updated bracket there for the Busch Light Bracket Challenge on your screen right there. Larson versus teammate Byron, Preece versus myself, Truex versus Bell, Buescher, Chastain, Dylan, Logano, Kozlowski, Reddick, Wallace, Suarez, and Cindric, Alex Bowman. I say we should have it pretty easy against Ryan Preece for myself. However, we have seen, already in the first round, Elliott goes out. Hamlin goes out to Dylan. Elliott was because of mechanical issues. Gibbs went out to Suarez. 3 big ones right there. But the green flag is out, and we're racing here from Michigan International Speedway now. 4 races remain in the regular season. It's the big push now to the end of this regular season. Who can get in the playoffs, maybe virtue of a victory now? We have seen Kyle Busch qualified very well today. He's in a must-win scenario to get into the playoffs. Alex Bowman's in a must-win scenario as well to get into the playoffs, and a must-win scenario to, I would say, keep his ride. Daniel Suarez, another one. There's 2 drivers that are in a must-win scenario to not only make the playoffs, but for sure keep their ride, and it's Alex Bowman as well as Daniel Suarez. If they don't make the playoffs, they are out, and even making the playoffs might not be quite enough, but both of them, I can confirm already, will be out of a ride if they miss the playoffs this season. However, news in the garages, both drivers are already working on plans for next season in case that happens, so it's not going to be the end of the world. If they lose their rides, I guarantee you will also still see both of them in a Cup ride next season as well. Now, keep in mind, somebody still has to fill my seat at colleague here. We're going to the 19 to, of course, replace Martin Truex Jr. So there's, that silly season that's starting to pick up late in the regular season. This is kind of the fun time of the year where we get to see things play out, which is, very, very exciting here now as we continue to move our way forward. Daniel Hemrick, we still don't know what it's looking like for him. He's had a pretty miserable second season in the Cup Series. Now, he's had a couple of moments of hope, but it just overall, again, another chance in the Cup Series for him. It just quite hasn't gone in the way he would have hoped it would have. We continue, however, to move our way forward now as we are pushing that 99 down the back straightaway into turn 3. Early lead change here. Kozlowski actually took it, but now William Byron out in front as we come through already to lap 4 of stage 1. Only 10 laps in stage 1, and up the inside of the driver that we're fighting for in the bracket of Ryan Preece. Will pass him. William Byron right now eliminating Kyle Larson in his current bracket battle. As keep in mind, the driver that wins the Busch Light bracket gets $3 million now, so we're hoping to, of course, win that now. And with big names of Elliott and Hamlin out already, that increases, everybody's chances, of course, quite drastically now. But Kyle Larson, I think, is the one that I'd be surprised if he lost. But Kyle Busch actually would take the lead from William Byron here in stage 1, as I was starting to struggle a little bit. Austin Hill, the rookie there, going for an overtake on myself as we would fight back a few moments later. Lap 6, though, and we'll pass him back for 22nd place. So we've gone from 40th, we've passed nearly half the field, we have run down the 2 of Cindric, we've stuck with Suarez, we got Bubba Wallace here on our outside, Truex only just in front of us there, but we passed Bubba Wallace. P21 as Kyle Busch continues to lead the way in these closing moments of stage 1. Byron, though, takes it back. These two continuing to kind of go back and forth a little bit for the lead of this race here in Michigan. Kyle Busch, and not only Kyle Busch, but Richard Childress Racing in general, have had a terrible season. It is very obvious. We are well aware of that. And Kyle Busch is looking for opportunities elsewhere. And don't be surprised if you hear something as soon as the start of the playoffs here, so a few more episodes. But Byron would retake the lead once again, coming to the final lap of stage 1 as we've moved up to 18th. But Busch through 3 and 4 takes the lead back from Byron. So those two have been glued together, swamping the lead back and forth. But it's Kyle Busch leading on this final lap of the stage. We got up to P17, but Josh Berry in my rear view mirror filling it up actually is able to get up my inside on the exit at turn 2 into the outside wall. We go a little bit there, not a huge hit, but enough to, of course, destroy every bit of momentum that we have. But we stay in front of the 33 and the 43. Kyle Busch out of turn 4 down the front straightaway. He is going to come through to win stage number 1, and he is certainly putting up his bid to get into the playoffs today. Now as we exit turn 4, smoke ahead to the inside is Hamlin. Denny Hamlin with a mechanical failure down the front straightaway. We cross the stripe. It's going to be P16 in the stage, but Denny Hamlin's day is going to come to an early end, as it was an early end in the last episode in the bracket challenge, as Austin Dillon decided to show up for once, and Hamlin is going to be out today in Michigan. Now as we're making some adjustments, quite some big adjustments here, specifically on the wedge, going from a 50 flat to a 49.5, as I felt like the car was a little bit too tight. John Hunter Nemechek up there in P6, Reddick in the top 10, he's in the bubble battle, and if you are Tyler Reddick, a Michael McDowell, Ty Gibbs, names like that, you do not want to see a surprise winner here today, somebody that's out of the playoffs currently winning their way in. And we haven't seen a lot of surprise winners this season here now as we're back underway. Of course, you've seen Corey LaJoie win the Daytona 500. I would count Bubba Wallace as a surprise winner from Atlanta because it's been a miserable season, although he's been looking better recently, not looking great today. However, we as well have seen Shane Van Gisbergen go to victory lane on an oval back in Kansas. That was a big upset, of course, but I think Shane Van Gisbergen, who's going to be very likely going full-time next season for Trackhouse Racing in this career mode, I am so excited to watch what he is going to be capable of doing. And now that he's been able to win not only in the Cup Series again on an oval specifically, but now he's won in the Xfinity Series and the Truck Series, I mean, it basically solidifies that he will be, in fact, full-time for Trackhouse Racing next season, as it looks like Trackhouse as well looking to go full-time with 3 cars. And how are they going to acquire a charter? Because there might be a bit of a charter battle happening. I'm hearing as well a new team announcement is coming next episode at Indianapolis, specifically at Indianapolis due to the IndyCar heritage of this team. So we'll have to wait and see maybe what that means now. Of course, we've already seen one IndyCar team branch out into NASCAR with Andretti Global hopping over into the Cup Series this season. Here in Stage 2, though, focusing back in on the actual racing action, we've now gone from 40th all the way up to 11th place. Absolutely flawless machine that we got here in this top golf car, but it was only about good enough to do exactly this. About P11, P12 was about the best I felt like we had. William Byron was back out in front here in stage 2. Kyle Busch was actually fading down the order a little bit, so maybe not as much speed in the number 8 as I had originally anticipated here now, but we passed Logano down into turn 1. Winner from the last episode there in Richmond, his first win of the season will clear him through 1 and 2 into the top 10 for the first time today, but the question is, how long can we hang on to it now? And if this stage goes green like stage 1, we do not have enough fuel to get to the end of the stage. We'll be about 2 to 3 laps short on fuel, so that's something to keep in mind, because as these laps were going on, it was looking a little bit more likely that we might go green to the end of the stage here now as we get passed by Suarez, but drop back down to P11. Josh Berry continuing to move forward. He would get to my inside. I would have enough draft to get clear, though, on the run down towards turn number 3, so we would stay ahead briefly here as he's continuing to try and fill up my rear view mirror and put on that pressure. Now, William Byron still out in front. Larson currently set to get eliminated from his bracket battle with his Hendrick teammate. Continuing P11 as Bell drops to P10. He's beating his Joe Gibbs teammates in the bracket challenge here against Martin Truex Jr. So we'll wait and see how that ends up here now as we have a big run on the back of this 20. We'll look to the inside of the Sirius XM machine down on this run towards this first corner and hopefully try to move ourselves back into the top 10, but Bell actually right on my door right there does not allow me to open up the wheel or open up anything there, so we actually drop out, and now Barry again up the inside. He couldn't quite make it happen again, so we would stay ahead, we would get clear, but finally on the exit of turn 4, he gets a really good run here now, and he would stay to my inside this time, unlike the other corners, and actually into turn 1 right there, contact with the floor. That was all on me. I just turned down a little bit too sharp into the corner. Hemrick, my teammate, comes through up into P12. Logano's gonna whiz by on the outside. Still love that 22 car. Tyler Tinsley has made some absolutely flawless paint schemes here, but we dropped to P14, and coming to just 2 or 3 laps ago in the stage, I realized, yeah, we're not gonna make it on fuel. We're already down to about 2 laps of fuel remaining in this car. You can see it says 3, but before we get in towards the end of the lap, it's going to go down to 2. So we're not going to make it to the end of the stage, and there you see, 2 laps of fuel. So we have to pit. We're not going to make it. We are coming to 3 to go, only 2 laps of fuel, not even a chance of making it to the end. So we're going to pit now, because if the leader hits 2 to go, and then we pit, well, it's just like real life. The pit lane's closed. We would get a penalty for it, probably lose a lap. So we come in, put 4 tires on, fill it up with fuel, made some more minor adjustments there just to try and loosen it up a little bit more, and we'll rejoin the track. So we're not going to get penalized, thankfully, by pitting on, you know, the end of lap 13 coming to 14. As we rejoin the track, however, the AI, they do their little dank thing. They always react really weirdly to you rejoining this circuit, but the cars around us would elect to stay out as Byron started the final lap of stage 2, and you're going to see this causes some problems. The 33 out of fuel on the run down towards turn 1, but he wasn't the only one. Barry would run out of fuel. Suarez is going to run out of fuel on the final lap of stage number 2. Byron is going to run out of fuel, leading, and everybody's going to flood into the pit lane coming to the checkered flag of stage 2. So we're probably not going to get points, but Kyle Busch actually passed Byron in the pit lane to win stage 2, but we're at least going to stay on the lead lap. But 10th place eventually hits the line in stage 2, so it ends up P31, which does not represent very much anything of what we did. And you can see we're not the only one down here. Bell, Larson, Elliott, Truex, all big names down here in the 30s. But look at this. Some cars pitting, some cars don't have to because they just completed their stops. Kyle Busch, Chastain, Keselowski can stay out. We're obviously going to stay on the racetrack to gain a bunch of this track position. Obviously, if it stays green again, we're going to have to make a pit stop a little bit earlier than everybody, which honestly could be an assistance to us. But we get up to P14 by staying out, and 18th on back is all on fresh rubbers. So we're going to get ready to roll again here from Michigan. Bell, Larson just behind here now, and up front is Kyle Busch, who stole the stage win in the pit lane from William Byron. Can he hang on? He's now won both stages so far. Obviously, stage 1 was one that he actually won on pace. But right now, it's Chastain up there. It's Keselowski as well, putting some pressure on Brad Keselowski inside the playoffs, looking for that first win of this season. I forced a 9 car up and out of the way on the exit of turn 2. Nearly put him in the wall. He backed out of it, though. Now as we're going 3 wide with Gragson and Bowman into turn 3. Gragson has really just shown up in the 62 for these few races that he has in it and has done a superb job. I don't know if that's going to lead to an opportunity really or not for Gragson in the next season of this career mode, but obviously only time will tell. Into the top 10, 3 wide here down this front straightaway with Gibbs, but the momentum's not quite on our side. On the run down towards turn 1 is Busch, Keselowski, Chastain, Byron, Logano, the top 5. How about John Hunter Nemechek up there? P6, he had a good run last episode as well. Austin Hill in the top 10, no momentum down the back. Hemrick goes through, Elliott goes through, Bowman trying to do the same, but he wouldn't quite be able to be successful as that would continue on the inside of the 54. On the run down towards turn 1, we're finally going to clear him. Into the top 10 again here from Michigan as Kyle Busch is continuing to drive away, but we wash up the track on the exit of 2. Elliott in the outside wall there after nearly contact with the 33, but we washed up, putting us under pressure from the 20, the 5, the 20, 54 as well of Gibbs, and they're all going to pass us here on the run down through 3 and 4, so not what we want. We just haven't quite had the pace. We didn't have it in Richmond, we didn't have it in Pocono, we don't have it today in Michigan as well, so that's 3 consecutive races where we've just kind of struggled to find pace. You know, we can kind of flirt with the top 10, but it just doesn't seem to go further than that. I'm hoping next episode in Indy we can maybe have a bit quicker of a car, but obviously only time will tell. Back to the inside now of Gibbs and Suarez here on the exit of turn 4. Still not quite enough in it. We'll pass the 99, but he passes me back down the front straightaway. Now as a caution is going to fly with 14 to go. That's the first caution that wasn't due to a stage break to actually fly today. How about that? So we're going to come in and we're going to do the exact same strategy that we've done the last 2 episodes as well, because it's just the speed isn't there, so we're going to try and find an advantage through the tires in the car. So we're going to box. We're going to give up more track position than others. Last episode, we tried it alongside Larson and Bubba Wallace there to take 4 tires while everybody else took 2, and it didn't really work for any of us, you know, in terms of going for a win. We're the only one to really try it today. Austin Dillon gives up 8 spots. He tries 4 tires, and we try 4 tires, so we give up 19 positions as the green flag is going to be back out. It's going to be 11 laps of racing. The true way to get this strategy to work is, you know, you get a caution, you take the, of course, hit in position, you gain as many spots as you can, then you get another caution, maybe about halfway through the run, so in about 5 laps, and then, of course, we try to make up the rest of the difference on a restart after we get all grouped back up into the back of the 47 there. He's sideways, he saves it, thank goodness. Now on the exit of turn 2, Kyle Busch down the back straightaway continues to lead this race. Now, is he going to get his first win of the season? It's been a miserable season. We've talked about it already for Richard Childress Racing. How about a story of Kyle Busch winning his way into the playoffs, saying, hey, I've still got it, I belong here. It's been a miserable season, but he's going to potentially find a way to get into the playoffs and continue, of course, the consecutive seasons of winning a race in the Cup Series. Basically every season he's been in the Cup Series now. As we go up the inside here of Bubba Wallace, 3 wide with him and Preece, by the way, down into turn 1, so we get back out in front of Preece for the bracket challenge. Kyle Busch out in front, but he was 3 wide on the outside. Keselowski would take the lead on the exit of turn 2, but Busch had so much momentum down the back straightaway, he would retake it here as we continue to absolutely haul the mail now up into the top 25 up the inside, passing Allmendinger, Gragson, as well as the 4 of Josh Berry up the inside, as well as Zane Smith, as he's going to be in that car a few more times before Ryan Blaney returns, of course, for the first race of the playoffs. I would say Zane Smith's done a superb job in that number 12 car. Hasn't done great, of course. He's had, you know, his teammates of Cindric and Logano pick up victories while he has struggled to crack the top 10. But we continue moving our way forward now, and we pass Cindric. We get to the inside of Ty Gibbs on the exit of turn 4, and we're going to go for the overtake on him. Last time we were side by side with him, the caution actually came out right about here. That's funny. The caution just came out again in almost the same spot. Kyle Busch leads over Keselowski, Chastain, Byron Larson's moving his way forward, and we'll be fortunately on the inside for this restart, which is exactly what I wanted. Stenhouse, the reason for the caution. Obviously, we'll be staying out here and no need for tires or anything, and just hoping, that this little regrouping is going to allow us to move our way forward quite, drastically. But the green flag is back out, and it's going to be 5 laps of racing remaining here from Michigan on the back of the 27 of Corey LaJoie. What can we do here on that Andretti Global machine? A terrible restart for LaJoie. You see the gap between him and the car in front of Martin Truex Jr., but we're going to follow him through turn 1. We've already gained a couple spots out of it. We'll pass Austin Hill through the center of the corner, get this wheel open up on the exit of turn 2. Daniel Suarez alongside. Suarez not doing anywhere near enough what he needs to be doing here today in Michigan if he wants to make the playoffs. 3 wide down the back straightaway. We'll pass the 27 on the entrance of the corner. Bell on the far outside. Truex takes the lead in that battle between him and Bell in the bracket. They're 3 wide in front of us with Truex, Bowman, Logano as well. We're going to follow the 19, give him a little shot. Didn't really want to force it 4 wide. I felt like that would slow us down more than anything, so I decided to stay put behind him. We clear the 48 and we'll pass the 22 as well into turn number 1. P9 on the board now as we come through the center of 1 and 2. Kyle Busch continues to lead the way. Larson's to second, Elliott to third. Now as we look to the inside of the 19, we have not seen Elliott be that strong lately in the recent episodes, but he showed up in Richmond, ran well until this mechanical issue, and he's running well again today. But is it going to be enough? Coming to 2 laps to go as we continue to run P8. This was all I had. Kyle Busch continues to lead in what could be a Cinderella type story for the season he has had here in Michigan. Now down towards turn 3, Suarez is going to look up my inside. He has fought into the top 10 and he's going to pass me. I don't really have anything for him, so I'm just going to try and follow him through the draft. Out of turn 4, white flag in the air for Kyle Busch here for Richard Childress Racing. Larson's right on the back of him, looking for both of those drivers for their first wins. Larson, of course, doesn't need to win to be in the playoffs. He's leading the regular season championship. He will make the playoffs. Elliott, of course, behind with 5 wins. You can see from here, Larson's trying to look to the left rear quarter panel of Busch, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Kyle Busch in a must-win deal to get into the playoffs, I think, is going to succeed. Down this back straightaway, Reddick has our slipstream through turn 3, 4 for the final time, and Kyle Busch has Larson clear and at bay. Out of turn 4, what a story. Kyle Busch comes out and wins stage 1 and 2, and he's going to come through to win the race as well in Michigan as Reddick's going to get us at the line. We're going to drop to P10, but Kyle Busch is in the playoffs. Exactly what Tyler Reddick, Michael McDowell, drivers like that did not want to see. Ty Gibbs as well. Unbelievable scenes as Kyle Busch finally returns again to victory lane and will have a chance to fight for a championship. I honestly expect him to be a first round exit if we're being completely honest here. Michael McDowell, P37, Trump to lap down. Same for Haley, Vargas, and Hamlin with the 2 DNFs on the day. You see Xfinity standings real quick. We'll take a look at the Cup Series standings as well. In the next episode is the Brickyard 400, the return of the Indianapolis Oval. But Kyle Busch being in, just keep in mind, scratch out Vargas. He should be out by Daytona, which means Reddick is the last one in by about 50 points over McDowell. So he's looking pretty good, with 3 races left in the regular season. Let's take a look at the brackets. Here's part 1 of the bracket. Logano eliminates Austin Dillon. He will be going against his teammate of Keselowski, who eliminated Reddick next episode in Indy. Suarez defeats Wallace. He'll be going up against Alex Bowman, who took down Austin Cindric. Larson with a runner-up finish to Kyle Busch defeats William Byron, his teammate there, and he'll be going up against me after I defeat Ryan Preece, and then Truex defeats his teammate Bell. He'll be going up against Chastain, who took down Buescher. So 8 drivers remain. This is going to get spicy. We'll be going up against a big challenge of Kyle Larson. I'll see you guys next episode for the Brickyard 400 at the Indianapolis Oval. Have a great day.